Crew set, arm. Order, arm. You join me in a pledge of allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Colors, post. Thank you. Please be seated. As I said, I'm really encouraged by the number of people that showed up. We've got a full house, and that's really good. We're glad you're here. We are blessed this morning to have a presentation from Ms. Sherry Golden of the Williamson County Veteran Services. I was reading on their website that in 2019 she was selected as the Outstanding Veteran Services Representative for this region. And although she told me when I met with her a little over a week ago that she personally never served, but she has a husband and a father and a brother who all served, and they covered the Army, the Navy, and the Marine Corps. The good news is she has a 15-year-old son who is interested in, he's finally seen the light and he wants to join the Air Force. So, but I'm told the Space Command may steal him away because he's really excited about that. So what we want is for Sherry to come forward and give you a presentation on what the Veteran Services can do for you and steer you in another place. Not to be confused with the VA. This is a Williamson County Veteran Services. So without any further ado, Sherry, if you're ready. Where is the mic? You come up here.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. Thank you so much for that introduction. Yes, that is true. I'm definitely guiding my son to the Air Force. So we'll see. He is actually joining ROTC this year, starting this week. So we're excited about that. And it is true. I did not serve. My husband was Desert Storm, and my father was Vietnam, and my grandfather was Army. And just a few years ago, I witnessed my father going through some services. He kept talking about this great person that was helping him with VA benefits. And I was intrigued, and unfortunately I lost him in a tragic accident, but that kept resonating with me. And so I inquired, and it turned out it was a veteran service officer. So doors opened up for me, and I was able to get the position. Actually, I started out at the front desk answering the phone 8 years ago, and was able to continue with my education, and here I am. Love every minute of it. Saturday, I was downtown on Market Days at the square. I don't know if any of you went. It was hotter than you know what down there. But I was able to at least talk with a few veterans and let them know of our services. Williamson County has had a service officer for as many years as I am aware of. My predecessor was there 17 years, and she taught me everything that I know. And we are there. We are not the VA. I will impress that. We are not the VA. We help veterans and their families with applying for claims with the VA. It's very daunting. If you've gone on the website and tried to do the paperwork yourself, please feel free to check it out. It's va.gov. Good luck. They do not, and I'm not here to dog them, but they do not give all the information on their website. Their forms are very confusing, and we are not even notified. The professionalism that we have, we are not even notified when the VA decides to change a form. So you may come in and we may help you with the form, turn it in, and it will be rejected because they said that this one's not any good. And then we have to go back. So don't feel, you're all very intelligent. If you go on the website and you try to do some of this yourself, it's not that you're ignorant, it's just the VA's changes. And that's where we come in, because we still get some training, and we can help you with all of the paperwork. So, and I have a fantastic team, I can't leave them out. Caitlin is here with me today, she's my admin, she's fairly new with us, and she's an amazing person. I cannot do anything without her. We have a front desk, Sonia, who answers the phone, so when you call her, please listen very carefully because she has a German accent. And so if it throws you off for a minute, she's really my front desk phone person. She's more than that though, she's counseling, she listens, she hears things. Sometimes she hears things she really doesn't want to hear, but it's okay. Well, it kind of gives us an idea of what we need to do and what service we need to help. I have 3 assistant service officers. Our county is so large that one service officer, myself, there's no way I could handle the load by myself. So as it is with the 3 service assistants that I have, it is extremely difficult as it is to continue with our services and try to keep up. We're trying our hardest. We are out on our appointments through September, possibly even going into October. And that's with 5 appointments a day per service officer. That's a lot of folks. And to be honest with you, I would say 95% of them are new people. People that have just moved into Williamson County. People that are finally understanding that our services are there. And so these are first-time filers. Keeps us with a job, but it just, unfortunately, it puts us far out in our appointments. We're trying to work it out, we're trying to tweak it. So please, if you do call up there for an appointment, please bear with us. Unless it's an emergency, if it is an emergency, please tell our front desk that it's a time-sensitive issue. And those do come priority. So I'll get started on what we do, what our services are. We are a liaison for veterans and their families. There are family members that are also involved when it comes to VA benefits. This is during, pardon me, I keep saying this is during while a veteran is still alive or even afterwards. So, first time claim. Has anyone in here not ever filed a claim with VA? Raise your hand. Oh, that's quite a few. Okay. It's not surprising that a lot of my veterans, and yes, I say my veterans because you're all my veterans. It's not surprising to me that I see a lot of veterans that come in and have never filed before, and it takes my breath every time. And here's what I get back. I don't need to file for benefits. I still have my arms. I still have my legs. There's nothing wrong with me. That's for the other veterans that deserve it. Let me impress upon you that there is no checklist of if you're a veteran and you've lost a limb, then you're a top priority of a benefit over someone else that hasn't. It is not true. It's not the way to view it. I understand what you're saying completely. My husband did the same thing. And it's not, there are other things that you may need to file for that doesn't include the loss of a limb. That could be mental health. It could be some internal items that maybe you were subjected to some type of a, what am I trying to say, like Agent Orange or something, that you were exposed. So please don't put yourself in a category of I don't deserve it, that's for someone else. Of course those veterans that are missing some body parts need the benefits, they need the health care, they need to be cared for in a certain way. But don't exclude yourself. And that being said, it also attaches yourself as a VA benefit. You can also attach a possible benefit to your spouse. So think of it that way too. That if you applied and you received a certain rating, 30% actually, or above, you get a little bit of a benefit for your spouse. If you're 100% rated, which I don't wish 100% rating on anyone, I don't wish that on you, but if that's where you need to be, then let's get you there. But if you do receive 100% rating, then your spouse receives health care, education benefits. There are many things that can also help with your spouse or your dependents if you have some dependents still at home, like what's considered a helpless child. So please don't separate yourself from a VA benefit. It's not a VA only those who have this disability. It's a benefit. You signed on the dotted line, did you not? No, you did. This is a benefit of what, granted, it may not be the best benefit or what we would all wish for our veterans, but it's there. And why not? Why not receive it? So we're going to go over our list here real quick. Initial claim, that's what I was saying. Has anybody in here not filed before? Quite a few hands. It's a very simple process, but it does take time. So anything that you file for with the VA, please do not think that you're going to get an award in a few days, in a few weeks. We're hoping for a few months. Unfortunately, I've had a lot of veterans that it's even taken up to a year or even after. But be patient, and we are here to help you through the process. With an initial claim, you will need your service treatment records or service medical records, STRs, SMRs, however you want to relate. You will need your DD-214, and if you have any private doctors, if you've never been to the VA healthcare, we will need some medical reports, what your current diagnoses are. If you haven't been to a private doctor and you've only been to the VA doctors, you don't need those records. They're already in the system. The VA will connect it. If you haven't been to any doctors, well, we can help get you there too. But that's the main thing, is your records from service, your DD-214, any medical information that you can provide. We fill out this form. It's a 5-page form. First page is just your personal information. Second page is your service information. Third page is about what you want to file for, and a couple others, and then one's just a signature page. So it's very, very simple, but it's those other little things that we can help you with. If you need assistance getting your service records, we can help you. However, because of COVID, the National Archives closed for many, many months, and they are just now opening, and they are extremely behind. Don't worry, we can file your claim without them, and we can make the VA go get them. And for some reason, the National Archives will get those records straight to the VA before they give them to us. And that's okay. I just want them to get to the VA, so if you file a claim, we want that information there. Initial claim applies to someone that wants to file for compensation, anything that you're dealing with, injury, illness, or exposure that you had while you were in service. Those three things: injury, illness, or exposure. If you had any of those things while you were in service and you are suffering from them today, that would be an initial claim. There's also, and that's for compensation. It's what's called compensation. The process is you file, you wait for the VA to contact you, then you have a C&P exam. That's compensation and pension examination. And you may have one or you may have 20 exams, depending on what they want to. And I know you're thinking, but my doctor already diagnosed me. My doctor already said, here's my list, here's my diagnoses. Doesn't matter, the VA says, I want you to see my doctor just to make sure. Now, I won't go down too far down a rabbit trail, but when you go to those C&P exams, they do want you to be in the raw. They don't want you to be, on any kind of medications before you go. They want you to tell them exactly how you're feeling, why you're feeling that way today. Do not go in there and say, I feel fantastic. How about you, Doc? Let's go play golf afterwards. Do you know they put that down? They actually type in, veteran feels great today, veteran smiling, and then there goes some of the things that you might be filing for. Again, I don't want to go too far down that rabbit trail, but there are times we actually have to fight with the examiners on your side for you. And we will do that too. And we have done it and we're still doing it. But on a normal filing, everything goes smoothly. You'll have your C&P exams, and then they'll come back with an award of some sort, whether it's 0%, which, by the way, please take note, 0% means you are service connected for whatever that item may be. It does not mean you're 0%, therefore you're not service connected. If you're not service connected, they say not service connected. 0% means you just got your foot in the door, you've been service connected for whatever that item may be. From there, 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, you can always increase it, and it's very easy to do. So, just the 0%, it seems to be a little bit of a clincher sometimes. Surviving spouses and dependents also can have what's called kind of an initial claim. They will be able to file for dependent monthly pay. Unfortunately, they do not receive what you had been receiving before you passed away. So let's say you're 100%. You are currently receiving $3,500 a month. You pass away, your spouse does not get the $3,500 a month. It's what's current with COLA, and right now it is $1,360. That's what she or he would receive. Great news, it's in legislature. I apologize, I don't know the House bill, but please go check it out. And they are pushing for the surviving spouse to be able to receive what the veteran was receiving before he or she passed away. So we're praying for that goes through. I don't know the status on it right now, other than that it's still sitting there. I mean, it's there. It hasn't been rejected. So we'll pray for that one. Aid and attendance. Let's talk about aid and attendance for a minute. Have any of you, please raise your hand if you have any of you heard of aid and attendance? Okay. It's also called aid and assistance, aid and something else. You wouldn't believe what I've heard it called. AA, no, it has nothing to do with your alcohol deal. It is called aid and attendance, and aid and attendance is not a VA benefit directly. So there's only 2 programs with the VA. One is the compensation that I mentioned to you earlier about any of your injuries, illnesses, or exposures. The other one is pension, which is for a veteran that has no service-connected items, but he or she's a veteran, and they're down and out on their life. They have very, very low income, and it's a welfare program of the VA. You have to have one of those two already awarded to you before you can get aid and attendance. Aid and attendance is a piggyback program to those two items I just described to you, compensation or pension, period. You cannot just get aid and attendance. And I'm really going to have to go out there and talk to a lot of our nursing homes, our skilled homes, because bless their hearts, they really, really, really mean well, and they get a veteran into their facility, and they go to the families and they say, oh my gosh, you should go apply for aid and attendance with the VA. They don't know what it takes to get to that, and I need to do some educating. But it is a piggyback program to an award you already have. And that can apply for yourself as a veteran, and it can also apply to your spouse. Let's just say that you're very healthy, you're doing great, and you're alive, and your spouse, he or she, becomes severely ill. You can apply for aid and attendance for your spouse. There are some eligibility requirements, and we can go over that with you, or you can look it up again on the VA website. It's very vague, but we can help you with that. So, and by the way, at the end of this, I'm going to have it open for any questions. So I don't mean to just skip over some things if you have questions, but we will get to them. Burial benefits. This is a popular thing right now. I'm guessing because of COVID. Honestly, it seems to be a swarm right now. And it's more of, what can I do to prepare? What can I do ahead of time? What can I do to make sure that my spouse is going to be okay when I pass away? You can contact the state cemetery, the national cemetery, and you can register. They will not sign you up for, here's your spot, and this is the spot you're going to get, nobody else is going to get it. But they will register you, so you will be in the register. That way when your spouse, when it comes time, they can just go and it'll all be set up, and it makes it so much easier for your family. So please consider doing that, at least contacting the registry, or the cemeteries and the registry, so you can at least be signed up. Highly recommend that. We do not currently have the burial books that we normally give out. We're waiting, we've been ordering, and we've been waiting for things. Things are even behind paper-wise, just like Topo Chico right now. You can't get Topo Chico right now. There are many things that are on a waiting list right now. I would be happy to bring a box up here once I get it, if that would be okay, and I can just leave it up at the front, and you are all welcome to the book. The booklet has a lot of information in it and places that you can go and the phone numbers. And that being said too, I highly recommend that each of you in your home have a folder, and the folder is for each one of the household members, and in it says, in the event, here's the list. Call here, go here, here's my DD 214, please have that ready for your family. It is very, back to my father for just a moment, he was killed on a tractor, and like I said, he was a veteran, Marine, Vietnam, and my stepmom had a folder of everything because they had been working with getting his VA benefits, and it was so helpful to just be able to pull the DD 214 out and hand it to whoever we needed to, call here, had this set up, everything was ready to go in the event of his passing. Of course, we're further down the road, but just I highly recommend that for each one of your households. VA healthcare. Or does anyone here go to the VA for healthcare? Okay, about the same number. So this is a love-hate relationship. There are some fantastic doctors. We've actually had some of them as our veterans. There are some not so great bedside manner doctors. Same with nurses, but that goes everywhere you go. You go to a restaurant, you're gonna have a great waiter. You go to another restaurant, you're gonna have a terrible waiter. It just depends. So take with a grain of salt if you talk to friends and family that says, oh, don't go to the VA, they're terrible. Or you talk to someone that says, that's the best experience I ever had, don't go to your private doctors. Here's where I'm going to tell you to go. Right down the middle. Go to your private doctors, go to the VA. The VA, you can look at the VA as excellent record keeping. That's your record keeping source. Check in with them once a year if you want. They'll document, it's in there, the VA accepts it, perfect. But keep your doctors. They know you, they know your history. You don't want to start all over again with someone else. And then you can always grab those records and send it into the VA if you have to. So that's my advice. Keep both, definitely. Let's touch on mental health for a moment too. This is a very serious situation. I have so many veterans that have committed suicide over mental health issues. And I mean no disrespect to any one of you in here, but some of them are your ages. It's heartbreaking. There are friends and families available. We're available. If you have any questions about what to do, where to go, if you have a friend that's down and out, send them our way. We are not licensed therapists, but we do listen, and we can also help guide our veterans to the right mental health facilities. And I don't mean like overnight facilities, I just mean the right places. One of our connections is the Vet Center. I don't know if any of you have heard of the Vet Center. Amazing place, absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, for us in Georgetown, they are in Austin, South Austin, like literally over the bridge, and in Killeen. If you want to go for a day trip, go for it. Exciting news, one of their counselors will be coming back to my office here in Georgetown. So you can set up an appointment and you can come to my office and see the counselor with the Vet Center and not have to drive through that horrific traffic or drive all the way out to Killeen. Please keep that in mind. You would call the Vet Center directly to schedule an appointment because they would be able to give you the schedule. That should be happening in September. And even if you just want to have a one visit, or come by my office, come see our new office. That way, just talk to somebody, and we are there for you. Each one of us in that office have suffered with friends and families with mental health. Some of us are suffering with it personally right now, my staff. So we understand. We completely understand, and we're here for you. Education with the VA, we are very, very limited on our knowledge with education. I pretty much say call the education department. I can give you some information on that. Personally, I received the education benefits. My husband is 100%. And my children have received it for college. And it's been wonderful. Don't get me wrong, my husband would give anything not to be 100%. But again, there's that benefit that's there, so we are utilizing it. And if you have any questions about the GI Bill or anything like that, look, again, we're very limited, but we can guide you to the right place to get the information. ID cards. Has anybody run into a situation where you're wondering what's going on with your ID cards? Yes, sir. The ID cards, if you've retired, you should have the little brown ID card, not your VA healthcare card. It's an actual military ID card. If you're 100%, you and your spouse should have the little brown ID card with the horrible picture on it that they take. Those are, even if they have expired, they are being pushed until January of next year to be acceptable. Because they've shortened their staff. They are in Travis County at Camp Mabry. They've shortened their staff right now because of COVID. Their time is very, very limited, but you can still go there and get your ID if you need a new one. It's just, you need to call ahead. And again, we have that information that we can get to you if you need that. Correspondence with the VA. If you move, please, please, please call the VA and give them your new address. Please give them your new phone number. So many letters have been returned lately due to someone moving and not giving the VA, and they say, well, I told the Williamson County Veteran Services. That's one place to tell, but you've got to tell the VA. They're the ones in charge and control of your letters and your information. So just call them. I know. Here we go.